everyone, this is Dee. Today is Friday, January 22nd, 2010, and you are watching The Weight Loss Diaries. Hey everyone, okay, this week on The Weight Loss Diaries, we have all been able to pick our own topics. And my topic today is going to be something that was kind of enlightening, and I want to share it with you because I feel it's very important. When we start to lose weight, usually our first weigh-in of the year, or it could be June, July, August, whenever, when you very first start. And you start off with that huge loss. It may be 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, whatever it is. And we are setting our head, yay, we're going to get this done. We are going to knock it out. We are going to lose. Okay, that's wonderful. That first 15 pounds, if we want to be realistic, is a water gain that we had that we lost, giving up the soda, giving up the salty chips, giving up whatever it is. I belong to Tops, and that's Take Off Pound Sensibly, and I'll put a link to it over here when I'm done. And we recently had a member who had a fabulous loss, after like her second week even. She was still losing very consistently and good, and she said, well, all I did this week was I gave up creamer. Creamer was enough to give her a very nice loss. So, congratulations to you. You know who you are. But then the second week or the third week, you may lose consistently for a few weeks where you're having that, single or maybe even double digits, depending on where you start out at. But then we want it fast. We want it right now. Well, why am I only losing a half a pound this week? What do you mean I only lost a pound this week? Well, your body has to adjust. And when it doesn't adjust, this is what happens. I went into my doctor today, and I had my cholesterol and all my, everything tested, and everything came out great. He told me basically I'm a poster child for good health when it comes down to those. But I had made mention to the nurse. I said, I'm having these horrible stomach pains, and I don't know if it's something I'm eating or not eating or something like that, and I explained it to her. And basically where the pain starts is right about in here, and then it feels like somebody lit off a bomb or a firework, and it'll shoot up, it'll shoot down, it'll go around, it gets in my shoulders, makes my back hurt. It is just miserable. And last week, while in the kitchen, I had an attack. It dropped me to my knees, and I was just in so much pain. So I was talking to my doctor about this, and he said, well, Dee, according to my records, you've lost about 55 pounds. According to my records, I've lost about 70 to 75 pounds. And that's because I had dropped a good 20 pounds before I ever went in to see my doctor. So that's where things stood. So he said, I was at the point of very, very obese. And when you lose weight, you get healthier. But I am 40 years old, and he said this mostly happens to women, sometimes in men, but when we lose a considerable amount of weight, if we go too fast with our weight loss, it can do damage. And the thing that we hear most about, and I think they've talked about it maybe on Biggest Loser, but I really don't think so, is you can damage your heart. Well, for me, it wasn't my heart. Everything's looking really good there. But these pains, he said, are very symptomatic of having gallstones. And believe me, if you ever have one of these attacks, you will want to be seen by a doctor because it hurts. Like I've had many times acid reflux, and acid reflux does not hurt like this. This is a knee-dropping moment. He said that the OptiFast plan is in medical communities amongst the doctors is known as money in the bank, and the fastest way to gallbladder surgery diet. So talk to your doctor about it. You know, don't take my word because I'm just somebody talking on YouTube, but this is what I was told. I recently watched a video of another YouTube member, and she's very excited about having this enormous amount of weight loss. I watch my own videos from last year and go, oh my gosh, you know, woohoo, I lost 7 pounds this week. Well, that's nice. But I didn't know until today what I was potentially doing to myself. So that is one of the big topic I wanted to talk on, was take those 1 pound losses and 2 pound losses and pat yourself on the back and know you're doing good. But when you start going, oh, it was only, stop and think what your organs are going through internally, not just what you look on the outside, and what your clothes size is and that. And he was joking with me today, and he's like, well, Dee, if it comes down to it that you have to lose your gallbladder, well, that's about 4 ounces. And I said, cool, then tops, that's a half a pound. Bonus for me. Anyway, it was kind of funny at the time, I guess. So be careful with your weight loss. If you lose it too fast, there are so many medical problems that you can have. When they lose 15, 20 pounds, 30 pounds a week on Biggest Loser, they have doctors with them around the clock, monitoring everything they do. Do you have the money to have your doctor basically move in with you? Do you have the money to have a surgery or to have a heart attack? Be aware of what you are bringing on if you insist you must do a crash diet. That leads into my subtopic of my main, and that is I've recently, well, back in October, my husband and I decided to do a basically vegetarian diet plan, which led into finding out more information and finding out the things that are still in eggs and that are in dairy can cause cancer, and not just because of the chemical compounds in it, but because of other things that are just in beef and chicken and turkey and fish, just, you know, without adding even the chemicals to it. So we decided to go to a vegan plan, and the vegan plan has worked wonderful. My cholesterol was 95. I'm now down to 157, or yeah, 195 down to 157. So that is going well. Things are working out there. But the biggest thing is I struggled, it seemed like, to even have that 1 pound loss or to have that 2 pound. I felt like I was beating myself up against the wall. I could not understand why one day it would show I was up 5 pounds and the next day I was down 2 pounds. And I know weighing on the scale, you don't need to tell me. I already know. It's not meant for everyone. For me, it helps keep me in track of what I'm doing. So last week at Tops, I had a 2 pound gain. Did not know where that came from. I was eating right. I was exercising. Everything was in perfect alignment. To have a weight loss, even a pound, would have been wonderful. I had a 2 pound gain. So I went and I talked to my doctor and I said, you know, something's not right and I'm frustrated. Can we do some blood work? So that's where the blood work came into play. So I went home and I did some research and I found a website. I'll put it over here, freedieting.com. I put in my age, my weight, my height, and how many times a week I exercise, and it computes it all for you, how much you're supposed to eat. I food journaled for a couple of days of everything I was eating, what a typical average day was. I kind of went back in time and went, well, this is what I had yesterday and the day before and the day before, and found out I was only eating 1,100 to 1,200 calories a day. 1,100 to 1,200 a day. The brain function needs a minimum, a bare minimum, if you never get off the couch, 1,200 calories a day. Pure and simple, no matter your size, your age, or whatever. 1,200 a day to make your brain function. I was barely getting 1,200. So, according to this, 5'9", 205 pounds, 41 years old, going to be 41 years old, I had it do the calculations. It said I should eat no less than 1,640 to 1850. 1640 to 1850. So I really bumped up my calories by adding a few more good breads, good carbs, a few more good proteins, and had a dessert.